apecoin especially passed value examination. According to the latest data collected, the continuous expense of apecoin explicitly is 428, and primate is correct, now situated in the by and large entire crypto climate. Amazingly, the spread stockpile of apecoin for the most part is 299,531,250. With a market cap of 1,281,694,634 or so. They generally thought in the past 24 hours, the crypto has been decreased by 57, and its continuous especially worth in a really significant manner, expecting we for the most part take a gander at the continuous business area cap of the primate. With yesterday's, you can see that the market cap sort of is furthermore down in an unobtrusive manner. Apecoin is defying an especially difficult stretch, hopping on board with commonly other crypto coins, or so they sort of thought. The gorilla really is down to very 1033 over the latest 7 days, which in a real sense is very huge. The coin in every practical sense is at this point showing betting with framing segments for ongoing days. The coin could solid areas for generally have simultaneously. We don't most certainly accept that it would a useful asset in lovely present second in opposition to prevalent thinking inside the latest 1 month. The expense of chimp decreased by 64,460. Discarding a mind-boggling regular measure of 776 from its continuous worth in a genuinely significant manner. This unforeseen down suggests that the coin is in plunge at the kind of present time, inferring that it might in every practical sense be a respectable buy, a significant entryway for expedient endeavor. Lovely. In spite of prevalent thinking, apecoin primate value expectation estimate for 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And 2030 at prediction it we in a real sense expect future apecoin cost assumptions gorilla measure by applying significant man-made cognizance or of aided kind of specific examination on the past worth data of apecoin. We essentially do our absolute best to generally assemble most prominent real data for the gorilla coin, which integrate various limits like especially past worth apecoin market cap apecoin volume, and scarcely any more, or so they for the most part thought, expecting that you are wanting to place assets into truly progressed advanced types of cash and need kind of incredible benefit from most certainly your hypotheses basically attempt to examine our gauges, which is very huge apecoin value expectation 2022. According to our significant really concentrated assessment on genuinely past worth data of gorilla in 2022, the expense of apecoin generally is expected to reach a kind of minimal level of 580. The primate cost can truly show up at a biggest level of 659, with the common trading cost of 600 in a significant manner. See more apecoin value expectation 2023. The expense of apecoin generally is expected to generally reach a kind of minimal level of 831 in 2023. As opposed to prevalent thinking, the apecoin cost can generally show up at a biggest level of 1008, with the regular expense of 855 all through 2023. Extremely in spite of mainstream thinking. See more chimp value estimate for 2024 to 2025. According to the gauge cost and concentrated assessment in 2024, the expense of apecoin is expected to basically arrive at anyway of 1187 or so. They thought the gorilla cost can basically show up at a most kind of outrageous level of 1442, with the ordinary trading cost of 1230 in an especially huge manner. See more the expense of one apecoin should truly reach its sort of minimal level of 1686 in 2025 or so. They thought the gorilla cost can generally show up at a biggest level of 2039, with the run-of-the-mill cost of 1736 all through 2025, which especially is very critical. See more apecoin value expectation 2026 apecoin cost truly is figure to really show up basically possible level of 2586 in 2026, which is very huge, as indicated by our disclosures. The primate cost could explicitly show up at a most outrageous possible level of 2914. With the regular gauge cost of 2673 or so. They explicitly thought see more apecoin value forecast 2027. According to our significant particular assessment on kind of past worth data of gorilla in 2027, the expense of apecoin in a real not entirely settled to generally be at around a base genuinely worth of 38.92 in an unobtrusive manner. The apecoin esteem especially worth can fundamentally show up at a restriction of 45.70, with the ordinary trading pretty worth of 39.98 and us. See more apecoin chimp value expectation 2028. The expense of apecoin really is expected to arrive at to some extent by and large worth of 57.06 in 2028. The apecoin cost could in every practical sense show assessment in 2029. The expense of apecoin certainly should really reach at the extremely much the least worth kind of worth of 78.27, which is very critical. The gorilla cost can show up at a most outrageous worth essentially worth of 98.31 with the common worth of 81.20 in an unpretentious manner. See more apecoin gorilla value expectation 2030. The expense of apecoin truly is expected to basically reach at the most unworth of 10,725 in 2030, which especially is genuinely critical. The apecoin cost could generally show up at a generally essentially outrageous worth of 13,381 with the commonplace trading cost of 11,131 all through 2030, which in a real sense is genuinely huge. See more apecoin value forecast 2031. Apecoin cost is gauged to by and large show up at a most negligible possible level of 15,572 in 2031, which fundamentally is very critical. As per our disclosures, the gorilla cost could in a real sense show up at a most outrageous possible level of 19,035 with the run-of-the-mill figure cost of 16,018 in an extremely significant manner. See more where and how to purchase apecoin gorilla, which in every way that really matters is genuinely huge. There explicitly are a couple of computerized cash exchanges where you can buy apecoin, which is genuinely critical regardless. Fundamentally interesting crypto stages have different ways to deal with buying gorilla tokens. Examine this little by little aid on where and how to buy apecoin extremely in opposition to prevalent thinking. Apecoin value figure facts. What in a real sense is the apecoin cost today, or so they sort of thought today. Apecoin gorilla generally is trading at 428 with the market cap of 1,281,694,634,000 in an unpretentious manner. What will generally be the primate most raised gauge cost for 2022, which is very huge. The gorilla cost by and large should show up at a most kind of outrageous level of 659 close to the completion of 2022 in a huge manner. Is apecoin gorilla a savvy hypothesis? Which truly is very huge. Apecoin's sort of worth certainly should continue to reach out as need will in commonly broad stimulate cost ascend in a kind of huge manner. Mercifully